They trained in secret, they operated in the dark, and when they were caught, their weapons were turned against the very people who built them. This is every captured special forces weapon used by the enemy in World War II. Some of these stories have never been told on camera before, starting off with Germany. The weapons captured from British special forces and turned against the men who created them. Welrod pistol, the quietest firearm ever built, designed specifically to kill without a sound. Captured examples from SOE agents in Denmark were handed directly to German forces hunting the resistance. The weapon built to protect the underground was now being used to destroy it. Sten Gun Mark II, crude, cheap, and brutally effective. Germany captured so many Stens from SOE airdrops and resistance fighters that they officially redesignated it the MP748E and issued it to anti-partisan units across occupied Europe. British-made guns shooting British-supplied resistance fighters. Sten Mark II suppressed. The silent variant of the Sten, captured examples, were immediately sent to German weapons testing facilities. Engineers who studied it reported that the integral suppressor design was more effective than anything Germany had independently developed for covert operations. Delisle carbine. One of the most classified British weapons of the war. Captured examples were analysed at German intelligence facilities to understand how Britain was achieving near-total sound suppression. The study directly influenced German covert weapons development programs. If you're enjoying this, subscribe. Drop a comment. Which captured weapon surprised you the most? Fairbairn Sykes fighting knife. The triangular-bladed Commando knife carried by every British SOE agent and SAS soldier. Captured examples were copied by German SS units who recognized that its design for thrusting between ribs was more effective than anything in the German Special Forces inventory. Smash it. The 11-inch Commando fighting blade, captured from British Special Forces and studied by SS close combat instructors. Its slashing and chopping capability in confined spaces impressed German evaluators who had never encountered anything like it. SOE Limpet Mine, magnetic ship-destroying device, captured before deployment on multiple occasions and immediately reverse-engineered. German naval intelligence used the knowledge to both improve harbour defences and develop their own version for Kriegsmarine commando operations. SOE Time Pencil Fuse, the delay detonator that made timed sabotage possible without a bomber remaining at the scene. Captured examples were copied within weeks, and German saboteurs were soon using British-designed timing mechanisms to destroy Allied infrastructure. SOE Plastic Explosive, the moldable detonation compound that SOE agents carried in tubes disguised as toothpaste. German chemists who analysed captured samples were reportedly impressed enough to accelerate their own plastic explosive development programs. Bren Gun, SAS vehicle mount. David Sterling's Jeep Raiders carried Bren guns on their desert operations. Captured SAS vehicles complete with weapons were pressed directly into German service in North Africa. The same guns that had destroyed German aircraft on their airfields now patrolling German supply routes. Next up, the American OSS weapons that Germany captured and studied in detail. High-standard HDMS, suppressed pistol. The OSS assassination weapon, a suppressed .22 caliber pistol so quiet it was used to eliminate targets in crowded spaces. German intelligence captured examples from compromised OSS networks and analyzed the suppressor design with considerable interest. FP-45 Liberator. 1 million were made, and Germany captured enough from resistance fighters to study them extensively. The Gestapo's conclusion was that a weapon this crude was psychologically more dangerous than militarily effective, and deliberately leaked warnings about its existence to discourage resistance recruitment. OSS Stiletto Knife, American version of the Fairbairn Sykes, captured from OSS agents operating in occupied Europe. German intelligence copied the design for its own operatives running counter-infiltration operations against Allied networks inside Germany. OSS Stinger Pen Gun, a single .22 caliber round in a device indistinguishable from a fountain pen. Captured examples caused considerable concern in German security services because there was no reliable way to screen for a weapon that looked like office equipment. OSS sleeve gun, single-shot pistol designed to disappear inside a jacket sleeve, captured from compromised OSS agents and studied by German weapons engineers, who recognized it as a genuinely innovative approach to concealed carry that their own programs had not developed. OSS incendiary suitcase, a fire-starting device disguised as normal luggage, captured before deployment in multiple operations. German counterintelligence used recovered examples to train security personnel in identifying sabotage equipment at transport hubs and storage facilities. OSS coal bomb, explosive disguised as a lump of coal, captured from resistance caches and studied by German engineers who then upgraded their own coal supply security procedures at every fuel depot in occupied Europe, bringing us to the weapons Germany used against their original owners, turning captured special forces equipment into tools of repression. Sten gun in false flag operations. German anti-partisan units operating in occupied France used captured Stens during false flag operations because a German soldier carrying a British weapon could pose as a resistance fighter long enough to infiltrate and destroy an entire network. SAS Jeep, North Africa, captured long-range desert group and SAS Jeeps complete with twin Vickers. K machine guns were pressed into German service in North Africa, the same vehicles that had driven hundreds of miles behind German lines destroying aircraft were now patrolling those same lines under German flags. OSS Colt, 1911. Suppressed. Captured covert pistols were used by German counterintelligence operatives running operations against Allied networks, because carrying an American weapon was often a more convincing disguise than anything German industry could provide. Resistance. Bren guns. Brens captured from French resistance fighters were turned on the remaining Maquis. German occupation forces armed with British weapons hunted British-supplied and British-trained resistance cells using the very equipment that was supposed to protect them. Next, Japan's use of captured Allied Special Forces weapons across Asia and the Pacific. Thompson SMG suppressed OSS variant. OSS operatives in the China-Burma-India theater carried suppressed Thompsons for covert eliminations. Captured examples were studied by Japanese intelligence, who had independently concluded that sound suppressed infantry weapons would become critical to future special operations doctrine. M1 carbine from OSS operatives. Captured from OSS agents running operations inside Japanese-occupied China. Light and semi-automatic. Japanese intelligence who analyzed captured examples reported that American special forces were better armed for rapid movement than anything in the Japanese special operations inventory. Fairbairn Sykes knife, Pacific. British and American commandos carried the same fighting knife across every theater. Japanese intelligence studied captured examples and noted that Allied Special Forces doctrine prioritized silent close combat capability that Japanese training programs had not yet fully developed. Welrod pistol, Force 136. British SOE, Force 136, operated throughout Burma and Malaya. Captured Welrods from compromised agents provided Japanese intelligence with their first physical example of a purpose-built silent pistol, a concept Japanese weapons programs had discussed but never fully executed. Sten gun, Burma airdrops. SOE airdropped Stens to resistance forces across Burma and Malaya. Captured examples from compromised supply chains were studied by Japanese engineers who recognized the design philosophy of a weapon so simple that almost anyone could maintain and operate it without formal training. SOE Type B, Mark II radio set. Captured from SOE agents operating in Southeast Asia, and the most valuable capture of all. German and Japanese intelligence both ran extensive double-agent operations using captured wireless sets to feed false information back to London and Washington while identifying and eliminating genuine resistance networks. Rounding out with the intelligence value, the weapons Germany studied after capturing compromised SOE networks. SOE Ajax Explosive Kit. A complete sabotage package, explosives, fuses, primers, and incendiaries in a single covert container. Captured from Jedburgh teams operating in France and studied so thoroughly that German counter-sabotage doctrine was rewritten to specifically address each component. SOE Escape Kit, MI9 tools. Compass buttons, silk maps, currency, and lockpicks, the survival package every SOE agent carried. Captured examples allowed German intelligence to identify and neutralize every MI9 escape route across occupied Europe that relied on the equipment being undetectable